Greetings, welcome back to PHI 113 Logic. In this brief tutorial, I want to go over what we call the three categorical relationships or relations: conversion, obversion, and contraposition. Before I do that, let me just review here. This is again on page 254, the square of opposition. Let me zoom in on that real quick. Here, the square of opposition, we see there are relationships that exist with an A claim, E claim, I, and O claim. The first relationship here is what we call the contrary relationship between an A and an E claim. Again, an A claim is all SRP, E claim, no SRP. They're contrary one to the other. That means both A and E, they can never be true at the same time and in the same relationship. One can be true, the other false, or they can both be false, but they both can never be true. They're contrary. At the bottom, the I and O claim are what we call subcontrary to one another. They both can never be false. They both may be true, but they both cannot be false. One true, one false, that's okay, but never both false. And certainly an A claim in relationship to its diagonal, the O claim, they can never have the same truth value. They're contradictory one to the other. And also E and I, or I to E, are also contradictory one to the other. Okay, now given the square of opposition in our four categorical claims, I'm going to talk about now three rules or relations that we can apply called the three categorical relations: conversion, obversion, and contraposition. Okay, so let me go over those very quickly. In terms of conversion, what we're doing here with conversion is we're taking an original categorical claim, whether it's A, E, I, O, and we're switching the subject and predicate. Subject and predicate get switched. Now, with the subject and predicate here, I'm going to go over here 1 second. The subject and predicate, let's take for example, I don't know why it's doing that, I apologize. Get that zoomed in here. The subject and predicate, let's take an E claim. An E claim is, again, a universal negative. No SRP. No Norwegians are Slavs. Now, to apply conversion to it, it's simply we take the predicate and bring it over here to subject, and subject bring it over to predicate. So the conversion applied to an E claim gives us no PRS. So in this case, the original categorical E claim, no Norwegians are Slavs, conversion applied to it gives us no Slavs are Norwegians. In an I claim, some SRP, some state capitals are large cities, and some large cities are state capitals. Again, look at here, we simply take the predicate and put it in the subject place in the predicate. And that's all we've done here. Now, just to know, when we apply conversion to our categorical claims, only the E and I claim are logically equivalent. Okay, that's why you only see E and I here. These are the only two categorical claims under conversion. They are logically equivalent. Okay, what do I mean by that is simply this: to say no Norwegians are Slavs is logically consistent and equivalent to saying no Slavs are Norwegians. Okay, the same thing here. If someone says some state capitals are large cities, that's logically the same as saying some large cities are state capitals. So we say they're logically equivalent. We say that the truth being communicated here, we can infer the truth down here. Okay, that's called conversion. Now with obversion here, I'm going to go to the next page. When we apply obversion, we're going to do two things. So there's two steps to obversion. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to change, so letter A here, change it from an affirmative to a negative or vice versa. What does that mean? Well, let's go back here to that square of opposition. If you have an A claim, change it to an E claim. If you have an E claim, change it to an A claim. If you have an I claim, change it to an O claim. An O claim becomes an I claim. Again, what we mean by that is you move horizontally from the top or bottom. Okay? So, if you have an original A claim, no SRP, convert it to an E claim. All SRP becomes no SRP. If you have an original E claim, no SRP, convert it to an A claim, all SRP. Okay? And the same down here. Now, that's step one with obversion. The second step is you want to replace the predicate term with a complementary term, which means you want to put non, non. That's what we call the complementary of a term. So let's take a look at this. Zoom in there. Here's the A claim. All Presbyterians are Christians. Under obversion, I change the A claim to an O claim, E claim. So all Presbyterians are Christians becomes no Presbyterians are non-Christians. An E claim, originally no fish are mammals, becomes all fish are non-mammals. So notice, this original claim here becomes an A claim, and then you complement. You put non in front of the predicate. The A claim, all Presbyterians are Christians. That's the original claim. Make it an E claim. No Presbyterians are Christians. And then you put that non in front of the predicate. Okay? Same with I and the same with O. Notice here with obversion, all A, E, I, and O claims, to give the obversion of it, they are logically equivalent. So notice here, highlight this, all categorical claims of all four types, A, E, I, O, are equivalent to their obverses. Okay? Remember in a conversion, with conversion, only E and I claims were logically equivalent. Under obversion, all A, E, I, O claims with the obversion of it are logically equivalent. Okay, finally, contraposition. What is contraposition? Contraposition has two steps as well. What you do with contraposition, step A, you switch the place of subject and predicate, just like conversion, but then you're going to replace both the terms with the complementary of the original term. So, A, all Mongolians are Muslims. Switch subject and predicate, step one. So all Muslims are Mongolians. And then the step two, you drop non in front of both subject and predicate. Some citizens are not voters. Again, switch subject and predicate. Some voters are not citizens. And then put non in front of both, which comes out to be some non-voters are not non-citizens. With the contraposition, only the A and O claims are logically equivalent, but the E and I claims are not. Okay? Again, let me review that. With conversion, the E and I claims are logically equivalent. With obversion, all E, A, E, I, O claims are logically equivalent. And with contraposition, only A and O claims are logically equivalent. All right. So, if we were to tackle, find the contrapositive of no Sunnis are Christians. Remember, with contraposition here, you're going to switch subject and predicate and then complement both. So no Christians are Sunnis, and then complement both. No, non-Christians are non-Sunnis. And then you have to ask, are they equivalent to the original claim or the claim you began with? Remember, this is an an E claim, and the rule for contraposition, remember, is only A and O are logically equivalent. So, number 1, the contrapositive of this, which would be no, non-Christians are non-Sunnis, this would not be logically equivalent. Okay, well that will do it with these 3 categorical, or the 3 relationships with the categorical claims. In the next tutorial I want to introduce syllogisms, categorical syllogisms, and say a little bit about those.